the key is that you don't have agreements with people before you go out and start interviewing people just to comply with the rule. I think of Mike Tomlin's situation in Pittsburgh a number of years ago when Bill Cowher was out with the Steelers. Everyone thought that the job was going to go to Ken Wisenhunt. And if it didn't go to Wisenhunt, who was an assistant at the time, it was going to go to Russ Grimm. They were the front runners, and I believed it, and I knew those coaches coming along and all of that, and thought it was going to be a good fit, and it was just going to be a smooth operation. Well, guess what? They opened the process up. They ended up with Mike Tomlin, and they ended up with one of the best coaches in the NFL. So I think that's the spirit of the Rooney Rule that still needs to be intact. So you have a rule, you have a policy, follow the policy. There's no need to have a rule if you're not going to be serious about enforcing it. But hey, there are going to be situations where there's a front runner candidate, someone that you are lusting for, like a Jon Gruden, that it's going to take, hell and high water to not hire him as the deal. But even with that, you can't make a mockery of the rule. The Raiders, and it's so ironic because of any franchise in the NFL, the Raiders historically, going back to, obviously the years with Al Davis, were a beacon for diversity, equal opportunity. Amy Trask, Tom Flores, Art Shell, just three names. And right now they have an African-American general manager in Reggie McKenzie. So I don't think the issue is the Raiders thinking, or at least institutionally, the Raiders thinking. I think it's kind of the process and how they made a mockery of the process. And Mark Davis admitted the other day that basically he had an agreement from Jon Gruden on Christmas Eve. Well, they interviewed two candidates, T. Martin and Bobby Johnson, after the fact to comply with the Rooney Rule, and I think that's wrong. So there is a price to pay, and hey, when you've given a guy a $100 million contract, $1 million really kind of seems like chump change.